Introduction to SPARKvue. SPARKvue is available on most platforms: PC, Mac, Chromebook, iPad, Android tablets, iPhone, and most Android phones. Exploring the home screen. The main menu, commonly referred as the hamburger menu, is located on the upper left-hand side. From here we can access existing experiments, also known as Spark Labs, and save current Spark Labs. We can also access preferences, shared sessions, and updates. Manual entry. Enter your data into a table and see it in a graph. Sensor data. Connect your sensors, choose measurements and displays. You will use this option most of the time. Remote logging. Configure your wireless sensor for remote logging, or download log data. Access existing experiments or build a new experiment. The anatomy of a wireless sensor. Power button. Charge indicator. Bluetooth indicator. Serial number. Connecting wireless sensors. To connect your wireless sensor, you first must select Sensor Data. Now turn on your sensor. In this instance I have 4 temperature sensors to choose from. You will notice the sensor at the top of the list was the one I chose. This is due to a proximity sensor built into the wireless sensors. Once the sensor is connected, you can now choose how to display the data that is to be collected. In this example we have the choice between graph, table and graph or digital display. The available templates are determined by the sensor selected. Choosing correct display and setting sample rates. Before we collect data, let us look at the different displays available. Line graph. Digital display. Table. Meter, great for light, voltage and current. Bar graph. GPS, conduct GIS, mapping experiments. Microscope, camera and digital eyepiece viewer. Media elements, for adding images. Text box. Assessment, add drop-down questions or multiple choice. Bar meter, especially good for the colorimeter turbidity sensor. Scope display. SPARKvue can be used as an oscilloscope. Fast Fourier transform display, providing frequency data. For this demonstration we will choose the graph display. Before we go further, let us explore the line graph display. Next to the hamburger menu in the top left-hand corner is the Add New Page button, which allows us to add more displays to our experiment. Beside the Add New Page button, is the Delete Page button. Here is the name of the page. Click on the text to change the name, or view thumbnails of all pages, to quickly navigate through the experiment. 1. The top right-hand side. Firstly we have the Bluetooth button. This button is to add extra wireless sensors. Next is the Journal button. This button gives us access to snapshots taken by the last button on the top row. The journal stores the snapshots until you are ready to save or print them. It also allows notes to be added to each snapshot. The Snapshot button enables the taking of screenshots of the graph display. The Lock Axis buttons allow you to keep both axes locked as required. The X and Y axis selectors allow to change the sensor or time, mass, volume, etc. The Toolbar button allows access to the analysis tools. If you click on the live reading display you will have access to the Edit Data properties and calibration options. Sampling options, which will be discussed in greater detail shortly. The Start and Stop Recording button. Next we have the Coding button to access the Blockly programming options. Experiment Tools facilitates the deleting and rename of runs and images. You can also access the Calculation tools and data properties. The Hardware Setup button allows the configuration of sensors and measurements. The Live Data button toggles the live data reading at the bottom of the graph. Click here for sampling rate options. Sampling mode. Periodic or manual. Sensor. This option gives you the option of having different sample rates for different sensors. Sample rate. The available values are dependent on the sensor connected. Automatic timer. You can set how long you wish to record data for. Click OK when sampling options are completed. Do you have any questions on this section?